All right. Just woke up and I was planning on filming a vlog video today, but the car's still not working. And I woke up and then I realized there was like breaking news on my phone. Unfortunately, it seems like we have another active shooter on our hands. Well, there was an active shooter that targeted another church. This seems like it happens way too often, especially in the United States. Whatever religion you are, whatever you believe, people have the right to go and pray, and especially on Sunday, which I think is like the most common day for religious people to go out there and go to church and all that. But in America, especially in America, you should be able to go to wherever you go on Sunday and pray and worship to whatever God you believe in without worrying about this type of thing happening. It feels like it's happening too often. There's a lot of hate in the world, not enough love. This just seems like a cycle that's never ending. It's happening way too much often. I feel like we're seeing these every other week. People shouldn't have to worry about this when they're going to their church. There's just a lot of sick people out there. But unfortunately, that's the world that we live in today. Just a lot of hatred out there. Not enough love. Not enough kindness. So, don't be that person that adds the fuel to the fire. Meaning, don't be a hateful person. Don't be a mean person. Spread some love. Spread some kindness. That goes for everybody. That goes for myself also. Not saying that we're doing that. I'm just saying. Just keep that in mind. I don't know what's going on. I got this Fox News clip pulled up. So I'm going to watch a little bit of this to get a better idea of what's going on. Hopefully, nobody lost their lives because of this attack. I don't even know if they got the shooter. Hopefully they did. It's just a lot of hate going on. Not enough love in this world. So, this goes without saying, but just be nice to people. Even if you have different religious beliefs, people here, especially here in America, you got a right to whatever religion you want to believe in. Whatever God you want to believe in, that's your right. And people shouldn't take your life for believing in whatever religion you believe in. It's just sad and unfortunate that I'm waking up to this type of news. But again, that's just the world we live in. So, just spread some love and kindness, because this world definitely needs it. If you're just going to be mean and hatred toward other people, all you're doing is adding fuel to the fire. There's enough hate to go around in this world for everybody. And we need to break that cycle by spreading love and kindness and respecting other people's religions, even if you disagree with them. That's totally fine if you disagree. But it should never be taken to this kind of point. So I got this Fox News clip pulled up. I don't know any other details. Then there was an active shooter at another church. Surprise, surprise, right? Unfortunately, we're living in a sick world full of hate. And it's just, honestly, it's so disappointing that there's people out there like this. But just don't be that person who has the fuel to the fire. Meaning, don't bring hate and hurt and be mean in this world, because there's enough of that going around already. Be that person who brings love and kindness into the world. Be that person, because we need more of those people. Even if you disagree with whatever religion, people still have a right to believe in whatever religion they want to, and they should be able to do it peacefully. So I got this Fox News thing put up. Let's go ahead and listen to this. I don't really know what's going on other than there's an active shooter at Michigan. Hopefully they were able to take him down. I think so. I think that's what I saw on my phone, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to go ahead and jump into anything without because I don't know. And I don't want to speculate and put like fake news out there. So we're going to watch this clip and just hear what we hear.
He drove his vehicle through the front doors of the church. He then exited his vehicle, firing several rounds at individuals within the church.
Okay, so this guy ran into the church with his truck, got out, and started shooting at people. Terrible, disgusting. I hope they got him. I think they got him. I hope they did. But hopefully nobody lost their lives because of this stupid act.
10 gunshot victims have been
Hold on, I'm going to turn off the captions real quick if I can. I think I can. Yeah. Alright. There, that's better.
transported to local hospitals at this time, including one who has been deceased.
Wait, did I hear that right? Did somebody lose their lives? I'm sorry, I gotta rewind it. Or was he talking about the gunmen?
Have been transported to local hospitals.
Hold on, let's rewind back a little bit further.
Rounds at individuals within the church. 10 gunshot victims.
10. Wow. Sad, just sad.
Have been transported to local hospitals at this time, including one who has been deceased.
Including one that... Now, who is that one person? Is that a victim or is that the shooter? Hopefully, he means the shooter when he says that. I don't know. Hopefully, he means the shooter, not any of the victims. You know, let's talk about it. Let's address the elephant in the room. Gun control. I believe people do... I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in all of our constitutional freedoms, especially for the veterans that fought for our freedoms, the right to bear arms. I'm a big supporter of that. I don't think we solved the problem by taking that amendment away because there are responsible gun owners out there. And plus, not only that, you take that away, you really think that's going to stop bad people from getting their hands on guns? I mean, there's a reason why they're criminals. Because they don't follow the law. They don't care about the law. People say, well, you know, it'll make it harder for them to purchase again. But no, that's not true. I mean, just look at the illegal drugs. You know, drugs are still illegal, but yet people still get their hands on them. So it's going to be the same thing with guns. You take people's rights away to bear arms, then the bad people who really want a gun are going to be able to still get that and still commit crime. And then what you're doing is you're leaving the responsible gun owners defenseless. What if someone breaks into their home, or if this type of situation happens, there won't be anybody there to stop it or to defend themselves against bad people. So therefore, we need to keep our Second Amendment. Yeah, it's the Second Amendment. Yeah, people have a right to defend themselves, and you take that away, you think criminals are going to care? You don't think they're going to get their hands on guns anyway? I mean, just like the illegal drugs example I give. There are drugs out there that are illegal, but people still get their hands on them. So that's not going to stop the bad guy. People just got to be responsible. Do I agree with background checks? Yeah, I do in a way. Like, I don't think... Like, if you had, like, a robbery charge or, like, a murder charge, should you be allowed to just buy a gun? No. I don't think that. But then again, that bad guy still is going to be able to get that gun now. Like, that's how... I don't want to go too far ahead of myself as far as the gun thing. But, just, yeah, we need our Second Amendment. So... people who are responsible gun owners and people who are actually good people are able to defend themselves and families against a bad person with ill intent that has a gun. So they would be able to protect themselves, their family, and their community. And if you take gun rights away, all you're doing is stopping the good people from being able to defend themselves from the bad people, because the bad people who don't care about the law are still going to get their hands on a weapon. And so we need our amendment for the gun owners, for them to protect themselves against bad people. And I just use the illegal drugs as an example, right? Those drugs are illegal, but yet people still get their hands on them. And that's going to be the same way if we take the rights away from good people, the bad people, the criminals who don't care about the law. They're still going to get their hands on a gun, and then that's going to leave the good people defenseless. So we need to protect our amendments, our rights as American citizens to be able to still purchase and hold a gun, But like background checks, I don't really see a problem with that personally, unless you got like a murder thing on your thing, or like, I don't know, like assault with a deadly weapon. If you have like those type of things, I can see why you wouldn't be allowed to purchase a gun. But if you're just a good American citizen with a parking ticket, yeah, you should be allowed to purchase your gun, because that's your Second Amendment right. And we have to preserve our rights. And anyway, the Second Amendment just wasn't to protect yourself and your family, but it was also to protect against the government. That's what the founding fathers put that there for, just in case the government would try to rise, so the people could revolt against their own tyrant government. But anyway, moving on from that little spill, hopefully they're talking about the shooter that's dead. I don't know. He wasn't really clear on that, but let's go ahead and see the rest of this.
We continue to get more information about the church shooting and attack that took place in Grand Blanc, Michigan. Obviously,
Grand Lake, Michigan. I've been to Michigan before. I don't think I ever been to Grand Lake though. Yeah, 1 killed, 10 shot. So I'm guessing the one that got killed was the shooter. That's what my guess is. I could be wrong on that, but I don't know.
The one deceased thus far.
But 10 is just way too many in the first place. I'm sure there were kids inside that church also. It's just a tragic situation.
Among the at least 10 victims, and we also know that there are a number of them that remain in critical condition at this hour, unfortunately.
Okay, well, wait, he's about to say unfortunately.
More victims. All the more likely, and with more on that, we want to welcome back.
All right, so some of the victims are in critical condition. Thoughts and prayers are definitely with those victims. I hope they are able to pull through. I hope nobody loses their lives other than the gunmen. So thoughts and prayers go out to all the families who were involved in this and the victims. And I hope they're able to pull through and make a full, speedy recovery.
Responded Brian Yennis. Brian, you were watching the news conference earlier. I guess we'll get more information.
There was a news conference. Okay, I'm going to fast forward it. Maybe I'll go to the news conference. Here's a reaction from President Trump. Let's get that reaction. Well, there are some. It looks like there may be. Well, let's just go ahead and play the rest of this.
5 p.m. What else can you tell us about the shooter and about the unfortunate circumstance that surrounds yet another violent attack in this country?
Well, Kevin, we know from that press conference that the FBI has about 100 agents on scene helping local law enforcement as they are now going to retrace this shooter's steps, the 40-year-old from Burton.
A 40-year-old guy decided to make this heinous act. Why? What was his motive? I don't know, but I would just say that he just hated Christians. This seems like a Christian church, not a Muslim church. Which, I mean, people say, I don't know. I don't want to get into whether or not Muslims or Christians or not. But that's besides the point. Because you should be able to go to wherever you go. A mosque, wherever you go on Sunday to worship whatever God you believe in. And this 40-year-old person, whoever did this, just a heinous person, I believe that they actually did get him. So he's gone, hopefully.
They did not release his name, as you astutely pointed out in the last couple of minutes. And that is because we believe that the FBI is now going to search not only his online history, but also...
Yeah, he's probably... There's a lot of online history. So him being 40, I would say there's probably a good chance that he left some online stuff. He has like data back there. Probably might have a Facebook. I don't know. Maybe a YouTube channel nowadays. I don't know. Probably Twitter. Or not Twitter, but X, as Elon likes to call it. So he probably did have some sort of presence online. Even if was just a small. He probably has something. He might have a manifesto of why he did this crime. I'm guessing it's just because he hated Christians. I mean, he did target a church full of Christians, so that's what I'm guessing his motive was. But whatever his motives were, they're not justified in any way, shape, or form.
Go to this shooter's home where they can try to figure out and find some sort of motive behind this horrific shooting this morning. We know that this shooting started at 10:25 this morning. The suspected shooter rammed his car through the front doors up.
Wow, so he ran his car into the front of the church.
Of this church. At some point separately, this shooter started a fire in that church that consumed the entire church. When that shooter exited his vehicle, he used his assault rifle, opened fire, shot 10 people. One person died. 9 people are at the hospital.
Oh man, so unfortunately there was somebody who lost their lives because of this terrific act. My heart and prayers and thoughts, man, all goes out to the family of that person, man, and hopefully the other victims are able to pull through. This is just, I feel like, honestly, this is just happening way too much. But again, taking away gun rights is not the answer. It's just not. Because the bad guys are still going to get their hands on weapons. What is the answer? I don't know. I mean, I would hate to say, like, maybe there should just start being security with guns at churches. I know that's controversial as well, because, you're not supposed to bring a gun into any church or any mosque or anywhere religious for that matter. But, I mean, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to protect your community members, your church members, your family, your friends. To hopefully prevent anybody from doing this. I don't know what the answer is. I mean, other than that. But I do know the answer is not taking away gun rights. I think that would just make the problem worse. Because then you won't have people who will be able to defend themselves and everybody else around them. But this is just a sad Sunday.
Some in critical condition, others in stable condition, and
okay, so there are some people who are in stable condition. That's a little bit of good news, right there. Unfortunately, one victim did lose their lives. Hopefully, those other people who got injured by this are able to pull through, and hopefully they get a full recovery. And for the people who lost their loved one, thoughts and prayers are with them. This is a tough one.
There is an unknown number of victims who unfortunately perished inside of that fire. The chief of police saying that this was a fire that may have trapped people on the second floor of this church.
So this church was a big church then because it had a second floor. I have never been really to any. I mean, I've been to church before, obviously, but I never. I don't think I ever been to a church where they had like one floor, the bottom floor, then the top floor. So it was a pretty good, decent sized church. But it looks like when the person set fire to the church, unfortunately, those people were trapped on the top second floor. So who knows how many victims there is right now? I feel like Fox News should just like hopefully give us a better. I know they're just figuring it out too, so I'm just saying like as far as this reporting, like I don't know, I don't know what I was saying, but yeah.
Hundreds of people at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan, when all of this happened. They were there worshiping with their families, multiple generations.
Yeah, and you have a right to do that, especially as an American citizen. Worship, pray to whatever God you believe in. You know, that is your right, and you should be able to do that without worrying about this type of thing happening.
Of people, obviously, and their families there. So a horrific situation. At this point, we are now getting a reaction from this. Latest reaction now from a spokesman for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who released a statement calling this a tragic act of violence that.
Yeah, it was an act of violence, absolutely. I mean, it could even be labeled as a terrorist attack against Christians, if you're asking me.
Occurred today. They are deeply grateful for the outpouring of prayers and concern from so many people around the world in moments of sorrow and uncertainty.
Yeah. Let's yeah, that dude's absolutely right. Thoughts and prayers are with everybody involved with this. I do believe there's a Trump. Yeah, let's get to the Trump reaction. I want to see what President Trump has to say on the matter.
Were saved because of those heroic actions of those two police officers. We are also...
Okay, so the police did take them out. Okay, so good job to those police officers who took out the gunmen. They did a good job by taking them out.
Getting response from the President of the United States, who says that he was briefed on what he calls a horrendous shooting, and he also says that not only is the FBI immediately on...
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and read this. Hold on, let me move my face. This is President Trump reaction. I have been briefed on a horrendous shooting that took place at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand in Michigan. The FBI was immediately on scene and will be leading the federal investigation and providing full support to state and local officials. The suspect is dead. Okay, so that's a good thing. The shooter is down, which I think we learned that earlier, so that's a good thing. A little piece of good thing, in this entire thing, so that's good. But there is still a lot to learn. This appears to be yet another targeted attack on Christians in the United States of America. The Trump administration will keep the public posted, as we always do. In the meantime, pray for the victims, absolutely. Thoughts and prayers are 100% with the families and the victims of this horrendous act. This epidemic of violence in our country must end immediately. Yes, I agree. These shootings got to stop, especially in the United States. But how do you stop them? Again, taking gun rights away from people is not going to stop the violence. How do you stop it? Completely? I don't know. I just don't know. But it does need to end. So there's President Trump reaction. I'm going to look and see maybe if there's like a press conference or something we can look at here. I don't know if there's any like new updates or anything. I'm looking here. Bear with me, guys. Wait, is this an update? No, that's North Carolina. There's another shooting in North Carolina too. Just a messed up world that we live in. Here, let's look at this. Well, no, that was from 2 hours ago. I want to try to find one That's more recent, so maybe we can get more news on this. I'm sorry, guys. Here. This one was from. No, that one's North Carolina. Hopefully, people in North Carolina, are okay too. So thoughts and prayers are without them. I don't know. I think that's just about it. I don't see any more updates on this which is kind of weird. Okay, here's something.
This is why I stopped shopping with major online retailers.
Stupid ads. All right, skip. All right, let's go here and see what this is.
Hi, everybody. That breaking news continues from the Grand Blanc Township and now Burton areas just north of the Metro Detroit area. I'm going to step out of the way. I'm sure you've heard by now there was a mass shooting at the Church of the Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township. 10 people were shot. 1 is dead. The shooter also shot and killed by police.
So, yeah, that victim, man.
What you're looking at right now is a map of where that church is, again, in the Grand Blanc Township area. There were people inside of the church when all of this happened. The suspect rammed his vehicle through the front doors of the church, got out, and then started shooting. You're now looking at video from the scene here. Again, 10 people were shot. 1 was shot.
Okay, I think I'm going to end the video there. And do I want to? Oh, wait, right here. Okay, here's an update.
During this incident, what we know right now is that a 40-year-old suspect from Burton, he's a male, he drove his vehicle.
All right, so this is the latest update that I could find. So we're going to go ahead and listen to Chief of Police here. Let us know what's going on.
Front doors of the church. He then exited his vehicle, firing several rounds at individuals within the church. 10 gunshot victims have been transported to local hospitals at this.
Again, thoughts and prayers are definitely with those victims. Hopefully they're able to pull through.
Time, including
and
one
with the families as well. This is just a terrible act. Hate to see this type of thing happening, especially in the United States, especially just anywhere in the world, period.
who has been deceased. Officers who were trained immediately responded to the area. One was a DNR officer, and then one was a Grand Blanc Township officer, where they met the suspect and they engaged in gunfire with that particular individual, neutralizing that suspect.
All right, so the suspect is dead. We already established that. So that's a little bit of good news. That's good that the shooter is gone. They were able to take him out. They exchanged gunfire back and forth between the police and him. Hopefully no police officers got hurt. Shout out to those police officers for stopping this maniac from causing more harm than what he already has. And yeah, hopefully that individual is in hell burning. That's not harsh at all. That's just how I feel.
And that suspect is no longer with us. As they said, it is a 40-year-old male from Burton. During all this incident as well, there was a fire that occurred, and we believe that was deliberately set by the suspect.
Okay, now they are talking about the fire. I wonder if, how did he set the fire? I'm just, did he have bombs? Did he, pour gasoline? Don't know exactly how the fire started, but it looks like the fire did start because of this guy. But I just wonder how he did it. Is that important? I mean, kinda, but I just wanted to know, was his plan to move on to other churches if he wasn't stopped at this one, Was he planning on hurting more people?
We do believe that we will find additional victims once we have that scene secure.
Hopefully. I'm hoping for the best that once, they're able to get in there and look around, hopefully they won't find anybody who died in the fire. Hopefully that's not the case. I really hope so. I know there were children at this church also. Man. Just not the news I wanted to wake up to on Sunday.
That fire was just extinguished by the Grand Blanc Township Fire Department within the past hour. So where we go from here is we have investigators. We're going to do search warrants on the suspect's residence. We're going to find out if there was
So they know a lot more about them, about the guy. Was he working with somebody else? Is this just an individual act? Those are questions, important questions that we need to know. Was this guy funded by any type of political groups? I was going to name some names, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to put them people in the same boat if they had nothing to do with this. This could just been a loan shark, or it could have been somebody who was funded by some other group. I don't know. I'm sure, just like the chief said, they're going to look over that. And the FBI is involved currently, so they're going to find out more about this individual. And hopefully there's just not more people involved in this. But if there is, then those people also need to be brought to justice. They need to face justice. So if that is the case, if there's more people than just this guy behind all this, then hopefully we'll be able to connect these people to what happened, and these people will also face justice for what they've done.
Motive. We're going to go through cell phone records, things like that. We had FBI, they're devoting 100 agents to this area because, as you can imagine, there's a lot of witnesses that were within the church, and that is a lot of witness information.
Yeah, I don't know how many people attended this church or how many people were there on Sunday. Apparently there was a lot of people who went to this church. So, yeah, maybe that's why it was targeted, because there was just a lot of people and the shooter wanted to do as much damage as possible. Maybe that's why. I don't know if that's the case, but I'm just assuming. But
statements that we have to obtain. So I'd like to thank all the agencies who responded. The city of Grand Blanc, Genesee County, Oakland.
Yeah, shout out to all the police officers and everybody, especially the ones who got the shooter down. They did a good job by bringing that guy down, that psychopath, whatever you want to call that moron who did this. He's an idiot. He's stupid. He's a lame duck. And like I said, I hope he's burning in hell for what he has done.
County Sheriff's Office, Flint Township.
No remorse at all for the gunman. No remorse at all.
The police department, the DNR, the state police, and the ATF. I will provide additional information for you at 5 p.m.
Okay, at 5 p.m. they're going to have another press conference, it looks like, but he does go on. I'm going to skip ahead and see if there's
any word on the weapon. Yeah,
an assault rifle.
So he had an assault rifle, which I'm not even sure. I'm not going to get into that.
As far as ammunition, did he have a lot of ammunition?
That I don't know of yet, and I could get you later. Hey.
Was the suspect known to authorities and...
Imagine being able to
Was
build
they
anything.
known to authorities? Okay, well, I think they're just going over questions. They're probably not going to get a lot of answers, but that's going to be it, man. There's just a lot of hate in this world. Not enough love. Don't add fuel to the fire, guys. Be nice to each other. Love one another. Be kind to somebody, even if you disagree. Y'all can disagree. just, I guess my message is just be kind to one another, love one another. There's enough hate in this world to go around for everybody, and we don't want to be those people who add fuel to the fire. We want to be the people who set the new narrative by spreading love and kindness. And this is just a tragic situation. Thoughts and prayers are with the families. Hopefully the victims who are in the hospital right now fighting for their lives, they're able to pull through and make full recoveries, and hopefully whenever they do search the building, they will not find more victims who were in the fire. I don't know if there's like more to this. I will probably post another video about it. Not the news I wanted to wake up today. I was planning on filming a vlog video, but again, the car's not working, so gotta get that fixed first. Yeah. With that, guys, I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for subscribing, and thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. Thank you guys so much. Thoughts and prayers are with the families. Please pray for them. And that's all I got. And I'll see you guys in the next one.